Warning, this video may contain content that may not be suitable for children or anyone else that is easily offended. Strong language, graphic content, nudity, bad jokes, and a possible idiot, aka myself, may be featured in the following clip. Viewer discretion is advised. Channel is not responsible for any damages that you receive watching this video. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Zems, and welcome to 3 True Ding Dong Ditch Horror Story. This video is by Mr.nightmare, so if you haven't already, be sure you flap down to the description box, click on that link, and head over to his channel and watch the video. It's an entirety while me pausing and stopping and talking through the whole thing. You know how it goes, people. Yo, thank you guys so much. We had 1,300. We had 1,354, and I could not say thank you enough. This video was recommended to me by Sandstorm, so greatly appreciated, man. Keep the recommendations coming. I greatly appreciate it. Ding Dong Ditch is all fun and games until you knock on somebody, or you get ready to knock on somebody's door, and then they open the door and you're just stuck there like this looking stupid, and now you're just making eye contact with them and they already seen your face, so you have no choice but to run away, and it's a failed attempt. Or when you go to knock on a ding dong ditch and the car that you're supposed to run back to drives off and leaves you to run behind it. Not like I would know anything about that. Still getting payback for that. If you guys haven't already, be sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, support your boys, hit that notification bell so you can get all my upcoming videos and notifications when my videos drop. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter. I greatly appreciate it. If y'all not doing the crows with me, man. You run away like Story 1.
One questionable activity
I got my beef jerky
partaken when we were young was ding dong ditch, where you run up to someone's door, knock or ring the bell, then run away or hide. We do it from time to time when we were feeling mischievous or bored. At the time, someone moved across the street from my friend Stefan, who lived a block down from me. Kept telling us how sketchy it seemed. No one would ever see them leave their house. The blinds were always closed at every window, and there were never any lights on.
Red flags.
There was always a red Toyota pickup truck in the driveway all hours of the day.
Red flags.
No one really seemed to know who was living there or what they looked like. So one night we thought it would be a good idea to target it while we were out ding dong ditching. My friend Jake and I hid behind a nearby car while Stefan ran up to the door. We could tell he rang the bell like 5 times, and we chuckled because of it. He finally ran for cover in a bush separating that property from the neighboring property. We waited for the door to open, but alas, it never did. So Stefan ran back to the door and rang it a bunch more times, probably closer to like 10 rings this time.
Let me tell you something. You just messed up the whole reason for Ding Dong Ditch. When you knock on a door or you ring the doorbell and you run, you don't know if they open the door or not. That's the fun of it. You run and you look back while you're running, see if they open it. You don't be like, okay, they didn't open it, let me go back and ring the doorbell again. Because 9 times out of 10, what if they seen you do it and then they go to open the door and you're right there and they grab you? Or they're like, hey, I got you now. Where's your parents? You know, they got a description of you. You don't go and ring it another 5, 6 times. Like, come on, man. You gotta be smooth with it. You ring it 5, 6 times, take off running, and don't look back. If you lose a shoe, you just come back for it. I gotta explain the rules. These young bucks these days.
As he ran for his same hiding spot, I noticed the curtains to one of the front windows move a little bit.
The same hiding spot.
I didn't see anyone's face, but that confirmed someone was inside the house. The door never opened. Jake and I were afraid to yell over to him not to do it again. Vaughn never looked over at us. He never even gave us a chance to wave at him to stop there.
Rip.
He waited half a minute before going back to the door, but I swear before he could even ring the bell, the door pulled open, and all Jake and I saw was someone's arm reach out from the house to grab Stefan.
Told you.
He screamed a high-pitched scream like a girl. Jake and I looked at each other with horrified looks on our faces. Stefan managed to break free from the grip. He continued screaming as he ran past us across the street to his house. The front door to the house slammed shut. No one came out chasing after us.
And then you're gonna run across the street where he can see where you live? Bro, this kid is asking for it, man. This kid needs a whoop. And he needs a lesson on how to play Ding Dong Ditch, man. The rules of Ding Dong Ditch is simple. It's like Scary Movie said, boy. Rule number 1, you got to be quick. Don't wear sandals. Don't wear Velcros, because Velcros has come loose. Don't wear any of them, like, you know, them Jesus Prophet sandals. You know what I'm talking about, with the lace around the back part of your Achilles. Don't wear those, bro. Please don't wear Shaqs. I know back then them kids used to wear them submarines, bro. Those are not the shoes to play Ding Dong Ditch in. You heavy as shit, my boy, and you gonna leave a whole foot trail back to your house. Rule number 2, don't fall. And that's what people do so many times. If you fall, I'm leaving you because you did it to yourself. You should have had your shoes tied. You should have picked up your feet. You shouldn't have been dragging it. You should have known where your foot is at all times. Watch out for steps, potholes, cracks, dips, flaps, all that stuff. Bushes, man. You have to be aware of your surroundings. And number 3, don't look back. I don't know how many times I can say do not look back, because one, it's going to slow you down, and then two, either one of two things are going to happen. One, you're going to look back and they're going to be closer than what they were before, or two, you're going to look back and it's going to be nothing, and you're going to turn around and they're going to be right in front of you. Ding Dong Ditch Survival with Zems.
We followed Stefan to his house, and as soon as we got inside, I told him that was a horrible idea. Now that person would know they were neighbors. Said he didn't care. Told his parents about it, who at first were mad at us, but sounded a bit concerned after some explaining about the aggressive way the man inside the house tried pulling him in. Still, neither of his parents wanted to go knock on the door, considering we were ding-dong ditching after all.
Right.
Jake went home. I stayed over Stefan's house to sleep over. His parents always complained about us being too loud after they went to sleep, so we hung out in his backyard. We were playing Pokemon on our DSs for a while and talked more about what happened across the street.
He
said he didn't see much of the man's face, and he was pretty well hidden behind the door, but he could tell it was a man by his veiny hands and strength. The man grabbed him by the collar of his shirt, so Stefan was able to free himself from the man's grip pretty easily. At some point while in the yard, I remember hearing a thump kind of noise. But I didn't even feel like it was worth bringing up to Stefan. I just made a mental note of it, and maybe he did too, who knows. Eventually it got too chilly to sit outside anymore, and we were getting a little tired, so we went back inside. We noticed it was a lot chillier on the first floor than it had been before we went outside. Stefan realized why fairly quickly. The sliding dining room window was open all the way, and a breeze of cold air was pouring in. But his parents definitely didn't open that. Something wasn't right.
Richard Ramirez.
There was the sound of a footstep or something falling on the carpeted floor above us, in Stefan's room. It set him off screaming for his parents. The house has a very open layout, so of course they heard him and came rushing out of their room, confused and worried as hell. We pointed at the open window, then said someone's in his room upstairs. Dad ran downstairs to grab the biggest kitchen knife they had and ran back upstairs. We all waited in fear for something to happen upstairs.
The biggest kitchen knife.
His mom hugged us and tried to comfort us while she called the police. Stefan's dad started to scream. Not like a scared scream or a scream out of pain, but more so an angry scream. We waited downstairs until the cops showed up, and they went up to Stefan's room. What actually happened is so disturbing. As anyone could guess, the break-in point was the window. Stefan's dad checked his son's room and heard something in the closet. Upon opening it, someone tried to lunge at him, but he immediately got one good stab in the person. What we found out minutes later was that it was the neighbor from across the street. How we knew was because Stefan instantly recognized the white sleeves he was wearing and the scabs on his hand. The man was as scary looking as we imagined. Stefan's family got a restraining order against the man and refused to live across the street from him any longer. They moved within a few months to a house in the same town.
It kind of sucks because although he was crazy, at the same time, he wasn't bothering anybody. Kids decided to go over there and bother him, not knowing this guy may be mentally unstable. And they went over there bothering that man, and he probably was pissed because he was doing something. I don't know. It's kind of like when you're trying to trying to beat your meat or something and somebody calls you and now you got to put your meat on hold because somebody wants to have a conversation on you because they didn't just think they should have texted you first before calling. Not like I did something like that, but it happens to some people, It is what it is. I don't know. All I'm saying is, if the kid didn't go back and ring a second time, which is breaking the rules of Ding Dong Ditch, any Ding Dong professional like myself would agree with me. You only ring that one time. You don't come back. You run as fast as you can. And you pick a couple of houses down. You don't want to pick the same house or the house next to the house because if that person comes out, they're going to know it was you because you're not going to be able to control your laughter because you're a kid in the first place. So you just got to choose another block. Don't ask me how I know. Just know that I know. And don't pick a house that have a dog because the dog will hear you coming before the people do. Story 2.
This is a story that happened a few days ago. My friends and I really like to do some crazy things, such as ding-dong ditching, which is what we were doing on Friday night.
Hold on just a second.
I'll refer to my friends as C, B, E, A, and Ben.
And E, F, G, H, I.
There was one corner house on an opening to a cul-de-sac. My friend E said I should ring the bell. So I did it because I was not the kind of person to not do something just because I might get in trouble for it. I walked up to the stoop and knocked on the door and ran. We ran maybe 3 houses down behind the car so we could still get a good view of the house we just did.
Facts.
The guy came outside, walked around, and I think spotted either myself, E, or Ben. So he screamed hey at us, and we ran like normal if this happened. We all laughed it off like we usually would. Then we all agreed like a bunch of idiots that we would do the same house again. So we walked around the street to the house, and we all debated who should ring.
Hold on, wait a minute. Phone's ringing. Sorry, people. A lot of calls and stuff going in, and a lot of busy stuff happened today, so I keep pausing the video. My apologies.
I didn't, because I just did like the last 3 houses.
Yeah, don't do it again.
We all agreed Ben should do it.
There we go.
So there went Ben up to the door, knocked, and ran. C, B, and A were on the corner of the street along with Ben after he rang, while me and E were behind a car right across the street from the house.
Okay, I'm just gonna say, I don't like all these letters. It feels like I'm sitting in a statistics class or something, like we're solving equations. I don't like the letters because I'm getting mixed up. It was like x squared went with y squared, and then b squared went with e squared, and e squared went over there, and they divided, and then e squared multiplied. Like, come on, bro. Just give us the names.
Like he was waiting right at the door, because only about 5 seconds after Ben rang the bell, he came sprinting outside. He got to the bottom of his driveway and screamed, "Hey, come here. Come here now."
Nope.
That was my cue to run. So I sprinted as fast as I could to the corner and around the block. Kept on sprinting until I caught up to Ben, C, A, and B. We had walked about the whole street gathering our thoughts when A pointed out that E was missing. We all looked at each other, obviously very worried for him. Called him and he picked up out of breath and was demanding us to go back to the house because he was chasing him. So we went about halfway down the street, still on the phone with E, and then he dropped the bomb. Man had a gun. We knew this because E said he heard the man scream, "I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out."
A gun?
I actually began to tear up, and we were all very worried for E. After about 5 minutes of E telling us to go back to the house, we made it to A's backyard and waited for E to make it back.
Hopefully make it back.
He was very close, so we walked out of the backyard and there he was. We all hugged him and were so grateful he was okay. We all went to A's backyard afterwards to talk about what happened. First thing E said was that he got the whole thing on video. He showed us.
Oh! He went the wrong way, look. He don't know what direction he's running.
Hey, come here now.
Oh,
Come
run.
here now.
Run!
Come here.
Oh, my man's a track flip. Listen. Like that dude from Dawn of the Dead when he jumped off the car, she hit him, he started running. He was going, bro. You know they got speed when they're running barefoot through the middle of the street, bro. It's all fun and games till you step on a pebble or a piece of glass. I used to fun stone it too back in the day. Yo.
What happened that I was completely unaware of was that when I ran away from behind the car, the man started chasing me. He apparently got up and ran the opposite way, kind of putting the man in a pickle as to who he wanted to go after. And he ran from him almost all the way down the street before hiding under a car until he felt it was safe to run back. This was the most insane night of my life.
Yo, that's lit.
I couldn't thank E enough, as if it weren't for him, who knows what that guy would have done to me if he had caught up.
I don't think he would have beat him up. He would have just like called him and then told him to tell him where his parents were or something. He didn't look like that kind of guy. It was a nice house. But that was funny, bro. He came out that thing hightailing it like he's just waiting for the day. Jeepers Creepers too. He was like, only 3 more days or something like that, bro. He's standing back at his house like this, bro. He's like, oh, they gonna knock on my door today? No. Story 3.
I was a very sheltered child, and I didn't really start going out until college, really. High school, I kind of never really went out much, so when the opportunity to do something slightly rebellious came about, I would jump on it. My cousin Rob, who was infinitely cooler than me, would hang out with me in my days before college.
Sounds like me.
He'd always be down to go out and get into trouble. There was this one time he called me and told me to meet him at his house, going ding-dong ditching. I brought along my flashlight just because it was dark and there weren't many streetlights in my old neighborhood. He also brought along 2 walkie-talkies and handed me one. Houses were also a little further between than your typical suburb. Rob led the way down the road, yelling things, hitting stop signs with his hands. He always had a lot more energy than me. We veered off the street and cut through some trees onto someone's property. There's nothing but a single walkway lamp on. No lights on inside or outside the house. Rob told me to run around back and wait for his signal to ring the backyard bell. He was trying to make the homeowner run back and forth, not knowing where to go.
That's just 2 people in the
I
house.
tested the walkie-talkies and they were all good. Waited in the backyard of this property. It was extremely dark and quiet back there. To be honest, I was really scared. Rob gave the go-ahead to ring right after he rang the bell a bunch of times. Rang it twice, then ran for cover behind a bush. I waited in that bush and walkie-talkied Rob, seeing if anyone had come out front. Negative. I told him it was looking the same in the back. After a minute, he told me to go to the back door. I looked into the huge back window to see if I could see inside. There was this tall-looking piece of furniture right in front of the window. There was this red flashing light in one corner of the room. It was about all I could see. Rob rang the bell a bunch of times again. I heard it from where I was crouching. My turn. I rang the bell a couple times, which yes, had a different sound so you could distinguish the two. I ran back to my bush and waited again. Bob said over the walkie-talkie that nothing was happening.
Go. Get out of here.
On my end, why wasn't anyone answering?
Bro, get out of there,
I did
please.
think I could see something moving from inside the window, though. Something small. I told Rob over the walkie-talkie. He said I should just check it out with my flashlight. So, trying to be cool, I did. I flicked on the light as I got closer to the back window. When the light shone through the window, it revealed that tall object on the other side of the window wasn't a piece of furniture. It was some creepy-looking, smiling man. and the thing I saw moving was his waving hand. He walked away from the window at an unsettlingly quick speed and arrived at the back door. He opened it and started approaching me with this horrific speed-walking kind of pace. As he was asking me to come inside, he dropped the walkie-talkie and screamed and ran for Rob. He met me in the front of the house, and we saw the man from the back quickly approaching the two of us in the same speed-walking pace. What made it even worse was he didn't say anything else. We ran back to Rob's house, whose parents were already asleep. We were catching our breath in his basement.
I would have died, man.
The walkie-talkie went off. There was a breathing from the other walkie-talkie. And an old man's voice whispering, "Where are you kids? I'm not gonna hurt you. I just want to give you your walkie-talkie." The fact that the frequency was reaching us in a basement meant he was close. That was the scariest part. He turned off the walkie-talkie out of fear.
Get rid of it.
Turned off all the lights.
Take it back.
In case you're thinking this was some sweet, innocent man trying to be nice, there's no chance.
There's a video?
He was literally chasing us, and he had this look about him that screamed child predator. We were young, but we were definitely smart enough to realize he may have been after us because of our age. We never told our parents, though, because they would have grounded us just for going out ding-dong ditching.
Sounds about right.
It was just a disturbing memory we'd have to deal with. We were lucky we got away okay, though.
I told you guys, you never knock or ring the doorbell twice. Didn't I say that? Every time you break the rule, you will be done. Now, say they did just ring it that one time. He would have left that night knowing that it was, or thinking that it was a piece of furniture in front of the window and not some crazy, tall, long, slender man dude like this in front of the windshield doing this and stuff. And they like, oh, what? A big, tall piece of furniture. I don't know what kind of furniture he thought was doing this, but hey, I need that same furniture to put in my window to scare people off. Man, just be careful of your surroundings. Just remember those rules I told you. And if you have to get somebody that comes out and says he has a gun, just make sure you do the 3D, duck, dip, and die, bro. That's the only thing you need, bro. If you can dodge a doorbell, you can dodge a bullet. So... oh, dang, man. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, support your boy. Also, swoop down to that description box, hit that link, and go watch the video in its entirety while me pausing and stopping and talking through the whole thing. My apologies again throughout the whole video. I know I kept stopping. People kept calling me, and I have to answer the phone. If I don't answer the phone, they'll be like, why you not answer the phone? You know he's saying they call. Yeah, but with that being said, man, thank you guys for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Reprisal Zems, and welcome to the Crow's Nest, and welcome to the journey to 5K and maybe beyond. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.